Hey everyone, just waiting a couple seconds to get started and let people join the chat. So, um, hey, so we'll get started in about 1 or 2 minutes. All right, going to start in about 1 more minute and then we'll get started. All right, well, I think we'll go ahead and jump into things now. So yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you to Salim and Amran for invited me to this. I'm really excited about this and talking to the community in the Middle East, a little bit about Women Tech Makers and giving you kind of an overview of what Women Tech Makers is and what we offer and what we're all about. So to kind of give you an agenda of what to expect, I'm going to start with an intro. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Then we're going to talk about the history of Women Tech Makers. Where did it start? What is it? We'll talk about what Women Tech Makers offers, hitting on the 3 pillars of visibility, resources, and community. And then finally, we'll talk about how you can get involved if you're not already, and the different type of touch points you could get access to. So with that, let's jump into it. So a little bit about me. So my name is Melissa Munoz. I'm program manager at Google. I was actually born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, not too far from Google. I used to play softball right down the street from Google's headquarters. My dream, I thought I was going to be in the Olympics. I was going to be playing softball in the Olympics there. I didn't really see myself getting into technology when I saw Dell and HP, when I used to drive by all these tech hubs. I thought it was a boring job. I didn't think I would ever go into it. So when I went to college, actually, I realized I wasn't going to be in the Olympics. So I actually got into education and teaching. I found a passion for teaching and learning. So my first job out of college was actually living in Malaysia, teaching English. And when I was there, I really realized kind of the power of technology in the classroom. This was around the time when Google Docs and Google Spreadsheets were really starting to get implemented into different classrooms. And I was kind of one of those first adopters of trying it in my classroom. And I thought, this is really cool. The ability to use technology to help students learn faster and more efficiently, or even just connecting to other teachers and sharing lesson plans and really getting that global community of teachers and education. So I came back to the Bay Area and I was looking for a job, and I found out that there was a position open at Google on their learning and development team. And it was building a product that would help Googlers learn and help connect them to career coaches. And it was on that team I really fell in love with product development. And I thought, wow, this is not the technology industry that I imagined when I was younger. It's not boring at all. It's actually really fast paced and very creative. So it was then that I realized, okay, this is something I want to do and I want to stay invested in. So after a year at Google, I left to a startup and worked on education there, meeting with a lot of customers, kind of educating people on how to use our product. And in my meetings there, I started to notice that there weren't many women in the room. The different companies that we were going to, it was mostly men, the executives, the VPs, all men. And, I started to question, this is the industry of the future. Why does it look so homogenous? Why does everyone look the same? And as I started, kind of digging into the problem, I realized there was a lot of systematic issues at play. There's still a lot of bias in the workplace, just unequal opportunities. There was definitely a pay gap, right? And I wanted to be part of that solution. I wanted to figure out what was going wrong and how do we make it better. And that's kind of what led me back to Google. I had already known people in developer relations during my first time there, and had met Natalie, who leads Women Techmakers. And I said, I want to bring my skills and expertise in scaling community and education and bring that to Women Techmakers. So that's where I've been since. And now I'm Women Techmakers, really passionate about getting women and underrepresented groups access to resources, thinking about how can we remove barriers so that anyone, regardless of their race, gender, religion, economic status, can really thrive in technology. And that's me with my parents at Take Your Parents to Work Day over at Google. That was a really proud day for me. So, yeah. So what is Women Techmakers? So I'll give you a little background. Back in 2012, the VP of X, her name is Megan Smith. She actually went on to become the first Chief Technology Officer of the United States. She was saying there wasn't many people attending Google I/O, which is Google's flagship conference where they announce all the major new launches for the year, as I'm sure many of you are familiar with. And she just noticed there weren't a lot of women there. And of the women that did attend, it could be an isolating experience, not seeing many people who look like you. So she started this dinner the night before I/O, where she invited all women attendees to get together and just to meet each other and to network and develop community. And what, started noticing is that these women that were attending the dinner would continue to come back the year after because they felt welcomed. They knew there were going to be people for them there at I/O. So this idea of how do we make this kind of a year-round thing? So not only were those women who attended the dinner the year before coming back, Women Techmakers also became this initiative to really reach out to more women and ask and get them to come to I/O. And there were different initiatives built in place to get more women to I/O, like offering travel grants or offering scholarships to attend I/O. So what used to be 8% that would attended that conference turned into now it's 25, 26% through very targeted initiatives of getting underrepresented people into the conference. So now Women Techmakers goes beyond I/O. Now it's a year-round initiative where we offer several programs, resources, visibility, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. So today, Women Techmakers actually engages over 150,000 women across 190 countries. And the vision of Women Techmakers is to build a world where all women can thrive in technology. And we do that through three pillars, as I mentioned before: visibility, community, and resources. And that's what we aim to. That's how we work to achieve our goal of women thriving in technology. This picture actually right here is from 2018's Google I/O. So you can see some folks in there from actually some of our ambassadors from the Middle East right there up in front. So yeah, so let's get into this first pillar. What does visibility mean? What does that look like? So first of all, I want to start with this quote. Every time I think about quitting tech, I seem to end up at a Women Techmakers event, and it changes my mind and re-energizes me. That's from Neem. She's actually an ambassador as well in North America. And this is kind of what keeps us really excited about the work we do, right? Being in tech, as I mentioned, can be a very isolating experience if you're a woman. So going to a Women Techmakers event and seeing people that look like you, that feel the same things you do, can help re-energize you and help you continue doing the work you're doing. So in terms of visibility, what that pillar means, the goal is really to make sure that we're highlighting and showcasing women in tech doing amazing things. So often when we talk about the kind of the famous people in tech, we're thinking about Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and Elon Musk, right? And they're all men, and we don't see a lot of women. So kind of one of our goals with Women Techmakers is how do we showcase the women that are doing really cool work that don't get those headlines, and show girls and even younger women that there are really amazing people doing really cool work. So one of the ways we do that is through this new series that launched in February 2020 called Founded. Rana, who is on my team, she travels around the world talking to these different entrepreneurs. For this first series, this was actually based in Atlanta. She talked to 4 women of color who had their own startups, who are doing really amazing work, and talk to them about their journey, kind of the struggles they've had starting up their companies, and what they're looking forward to in the future. So it's a really cool series. You should definitely check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WomenTechmakers. The next series we do is Women Techmaker in 60 Seconds. So we ask women both inside and outside of Google to come into our studio and explain a topic they're an expert in 60 seconds. And it's a really cool kind of bite-sized way of getting information, but it also shows off, the developer advocates, the people who are making these products at Google. It shows them off and their expertise. So our most popular videos are simple ones, like how to exit Vim, right? It's a very simple topic, or it's actually a very challenging topic, but it's done in 60 seconds, and we're showing, women explain it, but providing that visibility, right? We're kind of normalizing what it means, what it looks like to be in tech and what people are doing. We also work with artists to tell the story of women in technology. So, we'll do illustrations of famous women in tech, or even just, we'll take a picture and say a quote that about their experience in tech. This most recent year for International Women's Day, we worked with the artist Libby Vanderploeg. That image on the left, that was a pretty famous GIF that was circulated around the world a couple years ago of women lifting each other up. So we reached out to her and we asked her, can you help us with International Women's Day this year to create kind of a custom illustrations for women in technology specifically. So this year we had these 3 different characters that we highlighted: the empathetic entrepreneur, the vibrant visionary, and we told the story of these 3 different women in technology and what they're doing. So we like to work with artists and not only get their work out, but work with them to tell a really cool and creative and compelling story about women in technology. And here's just some more illustrations that we've worked with artists to make. So, highlighting the first Black woman engineer to work at NASA, Mary Jackson, Anita Borg, really getting those stories out and making sure that people are aware of who all these amazing women are. So the next pillar is resources. With resources, we recognize that women don't get the same level of access as their male counterparts. So we want to kind of close that gap and offer opportunities for women to catch up and be equal to their male counterparts. The quote here is from Nithya. She says, "Women Techmakers is addressing the problem in the right way, providing resources for women to get in tech." So our most popular resource is actually our scholarships. So it used to be called the Anita Borg Scholarship. Now it's called the Women Techmakers Scholarship. And it's money we give to students and women in academia to help further their degree and complete their degree in computer science. Asia Pacific is actually open right now. America, Europe, and Middle East and Sub-Saharan Africa. Those will open back up in the fall. But we're really excited about this. We actually just started a new scholarship in fall of 2019 called the Women in Gaming Scholarship. So we're looking to offer more. We want to give students more. We recognize that paying for college isn't easy. So in whatever way we can help women complete their CS degrees, we're looking to do that through our scholarship program. So you can check that out at womentechmakers.com/scholars. We also have a list there of all of the previous people that have won scholarships. And also in addition to the scholarship, you also get invited to a community summit with everyone else that's won in your region. And you just develop this network of really amazing people all around the world who are also studying computer science, which is really cool. We also do events, which, as I'm sure many of you know, has changed a lot with COVID-19, and we're still, trying to figure out what this means for us in our events. But prior to this, we did International Women's Day, which is our most popular campaign and event series, where we bring women together to just really celebrate the work and impact women are having in technology. We go to events like Google I/O and have experiences there. Grace Hopper is another popular one. We have a big event, one of the nights of Grace Hopper, where we invite people over and show off Google technology and just have a really good time. So yeah, like as I mentioned, right now is a very weird situation, but hopefully we'll get back to creating really cool experiences and events for the community. Another one is travel grants. We offer travel grants for different conferences all around the world. We work with products like Firebase and Android to send women to their summits, women that may not have initially had access to attend these really cool and educational summits. So we work with the product team there to make sure that we're offering those travel grants and opportunities for people to attend their summit that initially wouldn't have. This really cool initiative that just started this year are the Women's Online Safety Hackathons. The first one was actually in the Middle East with Salim and Rana heading that one. And what that was a partnership with Jigsaw. And it's, a couple day hackathon where women really try to figure out, okay, how can we solve the problem of making sure that the internet is safe for women? So, it starts off with a few sessions around what it means, what online safety means, and then, the next following days getting into groups and really hacking a solution for that. Really excited about this initiative. I know many ambassadors are going to be hosting their own online safety hackathons in their community. And I'm just really looking forward to the solutions that come out of that. So this is kind of a new resources initiative that we're trying out this year that I think is going to yield a lot of cool stories and initiatives. So that, and then finally, one of our most scalable resources is our newsletter. So we send out monthly emails to women all around the world with updates on new technologies, competitions, and general career resources. So we send that out. Yeah, that's part of membership. So if you want to get this newsletter, you could sign up for Women Techmakers membership, which I'll share more at the end of this presentation. So yeah. And then finally, community. This is our last pillar, and I'd argue maybe our most important pillar. Want to share this quote. Because of the Women Techmakers community and women at IO, after being laid off from my job at the end of June, I successfully traversed the landscape of crappy jobs and lame offers to get a job with a company 2 miles from my house for double what I made at my last job. I did this with the support of the community, right? So, we could only do so much at Google from the central perspective. I think where we really make impact is when people in the community are doing work and people are getting together in their local cities, local towns, and really networking and sharing opportunities like this, right? Sharing job opportunities and sharing resources within their community. I think that's where the biggest impact will be made. So some stats behind what our community looks like. So we have a pretty big Twitter following. We also have Facebook community. We have YouTube, as I mentioned. Membership has 70,000 members right now. And what membership entails, actually, do I have a slide? No. All right. What membership entails is, first of all, you get the newsletter every month with, access codes to Google I/O, different summits. You're the first one to find out about our travel grants, our scholarships. And then you're also invited to a Slack group where you can connect with women all around the world and share these different opportunities. And then finally, we have the Ambassador Program, which is made up of 1,000 really amazing influencers all around the world. And that's kind of the main community I'm going to focus on for today. So Women Techmaker Ambassadors. What is a Women Techmaker Ambassador? So they're leaders building resources and visibility for women to thrive in their local tech community. This picture here is from the European Summit. We bring together all the Women Techmaker ambassadors, or the regional leads bring Women Techmaker ambassadors in their region together once a year to meet each other and share best practices. And it's a really inspiring event. One of my favorite quotes from Layla, who's an ambassador in North America. She said, "When you see that Women Techmaker logo on an event, you know that somebody put in effort to make that event a safe space for women and gender minorities." And it's a really good feeling. So as I mentioned, ambassadors are really the experts on the ground. They're the ones who know their community the best. We in San Francisco, we don't know the nuances of what it means to be a woman in tech in India or Tokyo or, in Dubai, right? It's the experts that are Women Techmaker ambassadors who know what are the best resources, what are the best events, what are, the best scholarships, or what can I do in my community that will have the most impact? And we really rely on them to kind of get those resources, to get that visibility out in their local communities. So they do that through multiple initiatives. So leading IWD events, hosting coding boot camps, hackathons. As I mentioned, I know 20 ambassadors in the Middle East are doing the Women Online Safety Hackathon that I'm really excited about. They're speaking at conferences. They themselves, by speaking and being visible, are making change, right, for their local community. They're also developing new initiatives. Something I just saw yesterday, one of the ambassadors in Spain is working with of the local university to 3D print masks for COVID-19. And is working with her GDG to make sure they're getting the resources and sending those masks out that have been approved by the government out to people in need. So they're doing really amazing work, and they're being leaders and influencers in their community, and showing people that it is possible to thrive in this industry, regardless of who you are, right? And they're working to change that narrative. This is actually one of my favorite videos. I would play it for you, but I'm not sure if the sound would go through. But I definitely recommend you check this out. It's on Ryan, who is actually, I think, is going to be presenting next in the panel of Women Techmaker Ambassadors. But she just has a really amazing story. I really like this quote. In our DevFest event, we had a lot of women coming because they knew that this is a place for them, right? And I think that's kind of the most special part about being a Women Techmaker Ambassadors, right? Is that they really take the initiative to make sure that the events in their local communities are welcoming of women. They're working with organizers, they're working with partners to make sure that the women who attend their event don't feel isolated, that they feel that they can come back, that they can learn, that they can speak, right, at these different events, and continue to come back and even invite more women to their events, right? So they're changing their communities in a very impactful way. So I definitely recommend you check out this video if you want to learn more about what it means to be an ambassador, specifically in the Middle East. So finally, how to get involved. So first of all, the easiest way to get involved is just join membership. womentechmakers.com/membership. You'll be added to our email alias. You'll be invited to the Slack group, and you'll kind of get first notice of all the new things we're working on, the new videos we have coming out, the new travel grants, scholarships, etc. So if you're not part of membership, definitely recommend you sign up for that today. Join a local community group like a Google developer group, and reach out to your local ambassador. So you can find your local ambassador on womentechmakers.com/directory. And if you want to get involved, work with them to figure out, how can I help out with my next event? Or maybe you want to speak at an event, right? Reach out to them, find out what you can do. If you want to become an ambassador, reach out to Salim, Amran, and find out kind of how you can get that process started, considering that if you are involved in the community already and are creating really impactful events or doing really impactful speaking opportunities. It'd be awesome to have you join on as an ambassador as well. And then finally, connect with us on all of the social media accounts. So on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. We have a Facebook page, and also share your story using #WomenTechmakers on the other platforms like Instagram. We actually have, as I mentioned, we were working with artists, and Lily and some other artists created stickers for Instagram. So if you type in Women Techmakers on Instagram, you'll get our little logo that you could post on your story. That's really cool. And I think Google Devs might tag you into one of their stories as well. So these are kind of the big three. And of course, you could always reach out to me if you have any other ideas of how we can get involved. It's not limited to this, but these are kind of our big three. So yeah, that's the end of my talk. We're at about 9:30. I would love to answer any questions you have. I'm going to stop presenting now. And take any questions that you may have. So I'm looking at the live comments and just seeing what's going on there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions show up yet. Yeah, as I mentioned, the next session is going to be a panel of Women Techmaker Ambassadors that I'm really excited. I'm going to be attending that one and listening. So if you are interested in hearing about the experience of Women Techmaker Ambassadors, definitely recommend you tune into the next session. All right, well, looks like there aren't any questions coming in right now. Let's see. All right, well, I think I'm going to log off. If you have any questions, as I mentioned, you could reach out to me. You could reach out to Salim, have him forward the question over to me. And yeah, thank you so much for attending the session. I hope everyone stays safe out there. And yeah, thank you so much. All right, let me log off. Thanks, everyone.